So week 4 in May, and well, spring's moving along at a pace. Unfortunately though, here spring has been a very cold, wet and dreary spring. Plants are moving along nicely, but they're not growing as fast as I'd like them, and the continued wet weather is becoming rather annoying, especially when you're trying to reduce a great big pile of earth, move it all around the different parts of the garden. It's very wet and soggy and it's basically mud. This week I have been just continuing on getting the planting in, so I've been planting planting a Clematis or Clematis up in the secret garden. Been planting some Blackberry bushes, putting the pea sticks up. So I've been planting potatoes, but due to some technical difficulties I haven't been able to put that in this week's video, so that'll be in next week's. The asparagus, as you can see, is growing really well now. I've had my first harvest last week, and that was delicious, and I'm going to have some more with my Sunday roast dinner today. You can see behind me the purple creeping phlox is now coming into full flower now, and I can show you a bit more of that in a few minutes time. Beautiful covering out onto the lawn now, so that's looking good. And the tulips in the spring cut flower bed are coming into flower now. So the young optimistic gardener Junior and myself will be cutting some for a surprise bouquet for Mrs. F. So lots of different bits in this week, even though the cold weather's not going to keep an optimistic gardener down. So enjoy. I'm up in the secret garden area, trying to avoid the black fly. And I'm going to plant this Clematis, Duchess of Edinburgh. And hopefully it's going to romp away and climb up my covered seat and up and over the roof. So yeah, so this is lovely white blooms there, as you can see. And it's a member of the group 2 of Clematis. So I'm going to get on and plant this, because there are hundreds of these black flies around me. So don't be afraid to plant your Clematis nice and deep. So I've got a nice deep hole there. This has obviously already been enriched by old manure, etc. And they like a shady root run. They like their roots to be nice and cool. So that's why you're going to A, plant it nice and deep, and then B, I've got these, as you can see, I've got these this hedge of privet that's hopefully going to grow there, and that'll shade. The sun is on that side of the garden, so the sun will come across there, and they'll provide a nice shady root run for it, and then it'll reach itself up into the sun, because that's what it's used to doing, getting itself up through shrubs, etc., and using them as a climbing frame. So that's why it normally has its shady root run. Right, so let's get this in. Yeah, look, I do love a Clematis. There's something very very regal about all their flowers and all the amazing different flowers that they do have. I've got lots of other ones in the other part of the garden, which I'll be showing you throughout the summer, hopefully. So let's plant this in, like I said, nice and deep. I'm going to slant it at an angle towards, give some of these roots a bit of a pull out. I'm going to slant it at an angle towards the actual frame itself. Let's put it in. Yeah, nice and deep. And also, if you get it nice and deep, you'll get some more shoots coming up as well. Right, so I'll have to provide a bit more of a couple of supports for them to run up, to get up onto the actual frame itself, and then I'll be tying them in as they go up the roof. And obviously on the roof itself I'll be screwing in some wires to be able to tie the Clematis in all the way up. And on the other side I'm going to do a rose. But yeah, give this a water, give this a good drink, even though I think it's about to rain again. There we go. Job's a good one. So I'm doing a bit of hard graft tonight. I've moved on to doing the big bed here in front of the swimming pool. A big hard surface there to sort of cover, and eventually, hopefully, I'm looking at some sort of roses, clematis, or clematis rather. But for this year, obviously things aren't going to grow that quickly. I'm going to look at a nice big long line of sunflowers all the way along. I'm going to try and grow some big ones, but the soil isn't particularly promising there at the moment. As you can see, it's basically made up of hardcore. This was part of the driveway beforehand, and it's just, like I said, made of hardcore. So what I'm doing is getting in with the old big steel bar, bashing away at the earth, trying to break it up a bit, and I'm actually transporting that earth all the way up the other end of the garden, up to the paths around the orchard. But for now, I'm just digging away in between these black flies, and hopefully I'll finish this tonight, and then the pile of earth that I've got, I'll start bringing that over, fill it up. I should get a good foot and a bit of earth in there, and then I'll fork in some compost, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm not sure if you can see how absolutely beautiful the creeping phlox is at this time of year. I'll let it go a bit wild really, and it actually, because I'm going to be changing the whole garden there next year, I've let it sort of creep up, as its name suggests, up onto the lawn, so that in another week or so the whole of this area will be a riot of pinks and purples and the very light touch of purple, etc. I love it anyway. It's really nice when you come home in the evening after work and come in and you see the beautiful colours in the evening sunshine. Look at me getting all romantic. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. Beautiful. As you can see behind me, I'm by my pea bed. They've not put on any major growth yet, but I can see that they're straining at the leashes, ready to get going. They're looking really nice and healthy. Now's the time to put some pea sticks in, because obviously peas like to are sort of climbers, and they like to grow up things. So it's a good idea to put in the pea sticks before they get going. And I basically, with economy in mind, just use your normal, any of the tree branches or anything that I cut down from around the garden throughout the year, and I just use these. And I think I like the rusticness again of your traditional look. So that's what I'm going to do. Basically all we're going to do is give each of the peas something to scramble up, put a framework all the way around, and that's it. Simple as that really. And these will soon start shooting up. Before I know it, we'll have juicy peas. So we've got sugar snap peas on this side and some of the taller pea on this side. So I need to make sure that the pea sticks that I put down this side are on the taller side. There you go. Looks a bit it looks a bit like some sort of torture chamber really, I think, but it's effective, and I quite like it. Well, I do like it, otherwise I wouldn't do it like this, and it saves a bit of money, so job's a good one. So here we have the area where I'm just looking after a lot of the summer bulbs before I put them out. So we have got the lots and lots of different dahlias, the grass, which is not a summer bulb, but I've not put that out yet, clematis, and hosta. They're all for the secret garden area. I was trying to keep everything for one big planting. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that yet. The new hydrangea I got from Vessi's to replace the one that came that wasn't that basically died, so that was good. And a pretty good customer service there. I was pleased with that. And this is something I'm really pleased with. So these are all the hostas. These are basically all the dahlias that I overwintered in the various boxes, and they've all come on quite nice. Very good. But this is what I'm really pleased about. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did a video earlier in the season, where I split up the canna, the one canna I had, and now I've got 6 cannas. How good is that? Of course, I had every confidence in my ability, but you never know. But yeah, they've all come on really strong. There you can see growth coming through there. That one's okay. That one's growing on, and that one, and there's a little first spike coming out of that one. So really pleased with that. Yes, so hopefully in the next week or so, 2 weeks really for the dahlias, depending on the weather forecast, be getting these in the bigger pots and leaving them out properly, or planting them in the ground. If there's any frost warnings at the moment, what I'm doing is just covering them with that big blue cover there, and they've been okay so far. So yeah, so these are all the summer flowering bulbs and tubers that I've got to plant out. Looking forward to that. So I've got a couple of blackberries to plant. I kept these. I've made these long beds here, especially to grow the soft fruit. Like, and the other bed I've got a load of raspberries, and they're coming up, as you can see, beautifully now. And this one here is going to be for blackberries. Planting up broccoli in the bed itself, in the one end of the bed. I haven't got loads of blackberries at the moment, so I thought I might as well use all available space. And obviously here there's going to be runner beans, climbing beans going in here as well. So it's congested, not a lot of space. So I've got a couple of blackberries, and I thought I'd plant them up today. Pretty easy to plant. The trouble with you know, your blackberries and your raspberries is that they're always trying to run off somewhere. They're trying to send out runners, and as you can see, this video of the raspberry patch there, you can see they're already thrown out these runners. Even though I've got them supposedly contained in this raised bed, they've gone down, burrowed down, thrown out runners, and they're chucking out, trying to throw up raspberry plants all over the place. So you've got to keep on top of that, otherwise they'll make a mess of the place. Anyway, back to the blackberries. Let's get digging. This is good soil that I've showed you before. It's got lots of leaf mould in it, and lots of compost from last year. Yeah, so I'm just going to dig it to the height of the actual pot there. This is one of the, I got these 2 blackberries from my Vessi's plant delivery. So yeah, they've started growing nicely. So I'm pleased with that. Get on with it. Nice deep hole. I want to be nice and sturdy, and I'm going to throw up some supports once they start growing. So there we go. Take him out. Whoa. Nice set of roots there. As you can see, he's already throwing up nice new shoots coming up there, so pleased with that. Some nice blackberries at the end of this year maybe. And they'll like this nice nice rich soil, lots of leaf mould in there. They'll love that. They're used to growing on the edge of the woodland. In fact, they'll grow anywhere, won't they? Let's get this other one in. There we go. Give them some extra compost there. Give them a water. Lots of good shoots coming out of there. Lots of good shoots. Right. Job's a good one. So I've had a few technical difficulties this week in my videoing. So I haven't been able to show you all the things I wanted to show you in the building. So one of the things I haven't been able to show you is I built a couple of planters at sort of the entrance to my to the orchard bit there. Well, 4 of the apple trees anyway. And I've made them as I've made everything else out of up here out of rock, because as you've seen so far, there's rock aplenty in this garden, and I thought it'd fit in nicely with the rest of the build so far, and I'm quite pleased with them. I think they're looking quite good, but then I would say that, wouldn't I? Yeah, so 2 stone planters there, and I've got a box in each of them, and hopefully they'll grow up into some I'll cut them into a nice box ball. And another thing I've been doing, cutting the paths in better and putting some hardcore down that I've transported from digging out at the other end of the garden by the swimming pool. But I've also been watching Chelsea Flower Show, and that's been giving me all sorts of ideas that I could maybe do. And one of those was, I was looking at this one garden, it had cobblestones, lots of cobblestones in the path. And I thought to myself, hello, I could do something like that with my path. And I've got lots of smooth stones. So how can I incorporate those into the path? So I'm thinking of laying those stones down, as you can see, and cementing them in, and then having, obviously, the layer of chippings butting up against that. I'm not sure about it at the moment. I'm going to have a little go, and we'll see how it turns out. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's weekly diary. Things are hotting up, lots of things going on, and hopefully the weather will play ball, and I won't have so many technical difficulties next week. My name's the Optimistic Gardener. See you later.